The Ulgansah Witches. Prologue. With a shove and mocking voices, the 5 children pushed the young girl to the dirt. This little 7-year-old tried once again to gain her feet and run home, but was surrounded by those who would normally be called her peers. But she was nothing like them. She was not cruel, she was not part of their troop, and she was not at all envious of her birth. The reality of it was that she hated the time of her birth as much as the next. She was the rare child, one of the special few that came into the world every 203 years at the very instant the mage star would shine its brightest. This made the world of imperfect humans fear her, want to use her, and some wanted to be her. But she was 7 annuals and had no idea what it all meant. She was told that she could do magic and influence the world. But as of that day, she could do no magic, no miracles, or brilliant acts of the supernatural. This made her a target of abuse and endless harassment by others. The village called her dross in common. Her parents were called liars and shysters, assuming that they had made up the story of when the little girl named Hannah was born. Because at the age of 7, she had done no wonders or spectacular acts of conjuring. They all, her whole village, assumed that the events surrounding Hannah's birth was all the creation of a fraud, and so she was teased, tossed, and hit on many occasions by the ignorant children who lived nearby. This day started out the same, with evil intentions fostered within the hearts of cruel children who wished to build some self-importance by being mean to their favorite target. But this day was to be different. With the 5th, or possibly the 6th time Hannah had found mud between her fingers and in her hair, a voice was heard that rang out with force. Each child looked to the sound of who it was that could interrupt their fun. Hannah, too, looked to find the reason for the abuse reprieve. They found him, a boy of 16 wearing a military uniform and a particularly long and sharp dagger about his waist. It was General Trotter's son, standing with a stern face, his right hand on the hilt of his blade and walking swiftly to Hannah's side. "Off with you! Leave this maiden alone, or I shall beat each of you," was his call. To the 5 children, the voice was a disappointment and an incitement to instigate fear in each of them. But to Hannah, it was the voice of wonder. The Trotter boy was 16, sturdy, and just above average in appearance. He had muscles and strength developing into the approaching form of a man, but was still a few years off. To Hannah, he was everything. He had rescued her once before as an act of chivalry and knighthood. The second time was more personal. Even at 7, this Trotter boy saw an early sign of beauty. He knew it was only a matter of time. But he could wait patiently for the day that he could court this pale-skinned and flame-red-haired girl. Destiny opened up her floodgates to those soon-to-be friends, future lovers, and parents to generations of legends. It's the end of the prologue. Be patient, the book will come. We're still a ways off.